And welcome in everyone to the Mike Mincey Show, joined by the head coach of the Carson-Newman Lady Eagles, Mike Mincey. I'm Roger Hoover, and Coach, you get the regular season started last weekend, a close game against Coker, but then a big win against Erskine.
Yeah, like we talked about this weekend, the Coker game was very disappointing to us with Coker having so many injured players, and we gave credit to them. They've got some really good players and have a really good number 24 that had about 21 on us, and so it was a disappointing loss, but it was nice to be able to turn around on Saturday and be able to get a big win against Erskine. And a lot of things went well for us that day. We had a lot of shots, a lot of threes, turned them over pretty good. So it's always nice to get that W. So then when you have a long week of practice, the last thing you remember is that win.
What was the transition like from some of the Division I competition you faced against North Carolina, Tennessee, ETSU, and then going into last weekend's games?
Well, anytime we play Tennessee and Carolina and even ETSU, they put so much pressure on you on the perimeter with their length and their long arms, and sometimes it's hard to get into your sets. Just getting the ball to the wing on an entry pass is hard at times, and so we had put in press releases or pressure releases that we're still not running them like we need to, but then when you get into our competition, you don't have that much of an issue getting it to the wing or moving the ball around the perimeter where you want it to go. So there's a little bit of difference, and this past weekend we didn't really have a need to run any of those pressure releases, like we had to prepare for when we played Tennessee and Carolina.
And then speaking of pressure, you go to that Erskine game on Saturday, and Carson-Newman had a lot of pressure in the backcourt going up against Erskine.
Well, and I think that's the way we have to play to be successful. We need to get some offense created by our defense, and we certainly did that, and we want it to be an up-tempo game, and I think the more up-tempo and the more shots we can get out of transition, the better basketball team we're going to be, and certainly not all of our shots came out of that, but once again, when you're 11 of 24 from the three, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. A lot of times, especially when we're playing our level people, you can have a chance of being successful. And
you had to like on Saturday getting that more up-tempo style game.
Well, and we are. I mean, we want to try and score a lot of points, and we put up 85 on the board. Went from 56 on Friday to 85, and I think Coker did a good job because out of our press, they slowed it down and didn't get into a hurry, and so it became a more slow-paced game because of it. Of course, they zoned us, and so it was. I thought they would go a little bit faster, and I think if they'd have had some of their three of their players that were hurt, they may have. But that was their game plan, to slow down the tempo, and it ended up being a 59-56 loss for us. And then you turn around on Saturday, and we were able to get Erskine a little bit more sped up. And they played fast against LMU the night before, and so the turnovers and then us getting some easy baskets ultimately, helped us be successful.
Shante Marcus led the way in scoring against Erskine, but also she was the top offensive rebounder for Carson-Newman. Just talk about how aggressive she was on the boards.
Well, she just did a good job. Anytime you're going to be a good offensive rebounder, it's all about reading where the ball is going to come off the rim, and obviously she did a good job of seeing the ball in flight and trying to predict where it's going to go, and she got herself in a position, even though she's only 5'5", she's still able to get in there, and she's a strong little kid. So, being able to use some of that strength and being in a good position got her some offensive rebounds. But we need to do some more of that with our bigger guards too, and we stress it to them all the time that we're not always going to shoot great, and we need guards crashing the board from the offside and hopefully getting some stickbacks. And
then playing in the post, Shira Brown recorded her first double-double for Carson-Newman, and she's the type player that can have seemingly a double-double almost every night.
Well, I think for us to be successful, it would be nice for her to basically average a double-double, and she's close right now at 13 and 8, and we've talked to her a lot about crashing the boards and using her athleticism to get in there. And once again, it's about, even though she's athletic, if she reads where the ball is going to come off the rim and position herself correctly, she's going to be able to get offensive rebounds. And then she's got the athleticism and the size to actually get those stick backs. As soon as she gets it under the rim, she needs to go back up with it.
So Carson-Newman 1-1 heading into this weekend's games. Carson-Newman taking a trip to Dahlonega, Georgia, first taking on North Georgia, then Georgia College.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend for us because North Georgia has the reigning Division II National Player of the Year who transferred from Wake Forest. Of course, she's only a junior, and she's a really big time player, averaging 24, 25 points a game. And what we do to stop her, it may be a situation where you can't stop her. You can, with the old saying, you only hope to contain her and not let everybody else beat you. Because in a lot of the stuff I looked at last year, where they won or lost, she's getting her 24 or 25 regardless. And North Georgia's going to be a good squad. They have some D1 transfers, and we're going to be tested, and it's good to get tested early against especially a team from the Peach Belt. And then, of course, Georgia College is also going to be a test for us. Don't know as much about them. Same with Erskine. You know, I'm worried more about North Georgia, which is our first opponent on Friday, and then we'll get to see Georgia College a little bit because they play right before us on Friday. So looking forward to the trip, looking forward to the weekend. Hopefully we can go down and get 2 W's, but you know, we're going to have to play extremely well for that to happen.
Coach Mincey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
That was Carson-Newman's head coach Mike Mincey. Again, Carson-Newman going to Dahlonega, Georgia this weekend, taking on North Georgia at Friday at 6 o'clock, and then Georgia College at 2 p.m. on Saturday. For Coach Mincey, this has been Roger Hoover. Thank you for watching The Mike Mincey Show.